hello. I was told to use music. Who knows what the music was? Good man. If I can get the clicker to go in the right direction. There we go. It's going to follow me now, this music. Okay, so that's me. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I have been around the gamification industry for 6 years or so. Worked in various jobs along the way, been a web designer, been an e-learning designer. What else have I done? Written a book, play guitar. Work for a company called Motivate now that do engagement solutions, gamification, onboarding, loyalty, and lots of good stuff. But I'm not here to talk about what I do now. I'm here to talk about things that have happened along the way. Like you all, I've had a few epic wins, you know, been a few of them. And I've had a few fails. This was the most crowd-friendly picture I could find. There were some brilliant ones from wrestling that were a bit off colour. But that's what I want to talk to you about today, is failures, things that have gone wrong. As we say, stories are true, but the names have been changed to protect the innocent. So, with that, I will introduce you to Dave. Dave, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, was working for Company X. And he was a gamification enthusiast. Just started in the industry, starting to learn the ropes, got to know a few people, got to know a few things, got to learn all about how games could influence the world and how they could change the world. And as he loved games, he wanted to change the world. And as Marigo put earlier, you know, he wanted to make a difference and actually do some good. And along the way, he learnt some lessons. And I'm going to tell you 3 short stories about some of the lessons that he learnt and how he learnt them. Think of it as a play with one. And the first one's about rules and rewards. This was his first big lesson. So Dave's sitting at his desk and he gets a phone call. Hey, Dave, need some help. Cool, I like to help people. What can I do for you? Well, it's about gamification. Oh, fantastic. I love it. Absolutely. I've been in there for a year. I'm an expert now, obviously. Well, what we've done, right, is we've got a guy who's cheating in a gamified system. Oh, okay, right. What do you want me to do about it? Well, we need to stop him from cheating. Okay. I didn't make the system. What is the system? Oh, it's that thing we sent out with about policies. No, help me out here. Well, what we did is we made this system where if you go online and do a survey and do a quiz, you get some points. Okay. And then if you read a policy and then do the quiz, you get more points. All right. And then if you email people, you get more points. Okay, I can see where this is going now. And then if you go onto the internal social network and you tweet like a hashtag, you get more points. Okay, let me guess, is there a leaderboard in here somewhere? Yeah, it's all on a leaderboard. Brilliant. Okay, so talk me through this nefarious ne'er-do-well. What has he been doing? How has he been cheating? What exactly has he done that's wrong? Well, he's been really active, okay? And he's top of the leaderboard. Good for him. Nice one. Good, yeah, more power to him. So how's he cheating? Well, he's done way too much. He's like emailed 8,000 people and he's made the internal social network completely unusable because it's just hashtag after fucking hashtag. What can we do about him? Like, well, before we get too far into that, why? Why is he cheating? Why do you feel he's cheating? Because this sounds like a really crap game. So why would he do so much? You didn't do something daft. Didn't put a reward in, did you? Yeah, there's an iPad. But still, iPad, I'd love an iPad, but it's not 8,000 emails worth of great. So is there any minor possibility that he's from a country where the iPad's worth a lot more to him than it is to maybe me? Yeah, he is from one of the sort of companies we have, you know, slightly outside of the UK, and it might be worth quite a lot to him, actually. So, what you're telling me is that a guy who really, really wants an iPad is doing exactly what you told him to do in vast quantities, and you want me to stop him. Yeah, okay, fine. So, the rules. How have you defined the rules that tell him he can't do this? What do you mean? The rules, little things, numbers usually say what you can and can't do in a system. Yeah, we haven't really got any. Right, okay, so let's just go through this again. You wanted someone to be really active, to get at the top of the leaderboard, to read the policy, to tell everyone about the policy, and to win an iPad. And some dude's doing this without breaking any rules because you didn't write any frickin' rules. Yeah. Dave? But Dave had gone by then. So there are a couple of things to learn from Dave's first little outing into gamification. First of which is rules really are important. Doesn't matter what you're doing, if you don't have rules, you can't really enforce anything. The second one is that cheating is kind of subjective because was he really cheating or was he breaking the rules of fair play? Now, the rules of fair play only actually exist if you are playing a game or if there is some kind of social contract. And as they didn't define any rules, there could be neither. And it wasn't a game. It was a survey and a leaderboard. And as we've heard here today, and I'm sure you heard yesterday, that doesn't really make a game. That just makes kind of a system of feedback. So he hadn't broken any rules as such. And the second one was that rewards are relative. An iPad to me is great. An iPad to somebody who can sell it for a month's food is probably more important to them. So they are going to be more active. So be really, really careful. So this was Dave's first kind of lesson about gamification. The second one came not long afterwards, maybe 6 months to a year. And Dave gets another phone call. We're back in the situation. He's at his desk. He may be an intranet manager at this time, just, if you're trying to imagine Dave's backstory. And he gets a phone call. Dave, I've got a project for you. Cool, I like projects. And it's about gamification, even better. I've had 2 years now. I'm mega expert. So what's the project? Well, we need people to get involved in a knowledge management system. Okay? And we've got a platform that'll help with ideation and innovation, and we want to sort of share ideas. And what we need is your help to kind of design some of the rules. They mentioned the word rules straight away, apparently. And we also want to kind of understand how we can use the motivations, rewards, points, whatever it might be, and get you to design some of it for us. Cool, I can help you with that. So they sat with Dave and they went through the basics, and it was a very simple system. Get involved in the system, get some points, there's some leaderboards, but also there was the possibility of your ideas and the what you've been contributing to the company would get seen by management, and then that might lead to things being built that you've worked on. And also it was done in teams. So the competition wasn't one-to-one, it was team-based, and there's some intrinsic stuff there about recognition and status. And actually it was a pretty good system, and Dave was really happy with this. For being involved in 2 years, there's no narratives or anything, but it wasn't bad, and it was a really short project, like 4 weeks. So Dave's really happy, but he says, right, just a couple of things you have to remember. In the first week, when you send out all the comms, you're going to get a massive spike in activity. They're all going to go on there, going to be really excited, bam, loads of activity. In the second week, it's going to dive bomb because everyone's done everything they needed to do in the first week, and the second week is more about just sort of getting into general flow of how the game works, how the system works. And then by the third week, it'll plateau. You'll get a kind of just a nice level of general activity. What you must not do is panic in the second week. And what you must not do, and you really must not do this, is offer a reward. Because the rewards are already there. They're built into the system. Recognition, pride, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no worries, Dave. We got it. It's going to go live. Fab. First week goes by, Dave doesn't hear anything. Second week goes by, Dave doesn't hear anything. Third week, Dave? Yes, mate. Got a problem. Go on. Well, it was really, really successful in the first week. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. And then recently, in the third week, we're getting some complaints. Okay, what about? Well, the second week was really popular as well, but in the third week, people started to, cheat. When you say cheat, what do you mean? Well, they started to pull votes, and they've started to collaborate in weird ways that have got some people at the top of the leaderboard who shouldn't really be there with ideas that no one really likes. Okay. So shall we rewind to the first week? How did it go? Massive spike of activity. Great, thank you. Knew that was going to happen. What about the second week? Well, about halfway into the second week, it dive bombed, okay? And then it suddenly picked up again, and then they started cheating. You want to know if that middle bit a bit quick there? It suddenly picked up again. I don't suppose at any point somebody said, we've had a dive bomb activity, we should put a reward in. Well, they did offer an iPad. Dave, but Dave had gone. So again, a company panicked, and it was the company that did it. To be fair, it wasn't us. It was the company panicked and said, the activity's gone, we have to... Sorry, not us, it's Dave. It was Dave's company. Shit. And so they panicked, and so they put the reward in. And as expected, people suddenly wanted the reward, and as we now know, over-justification effect kicked in, where the reward becomes more important than the task. And no one cared at all about the fact that they were going to get seen by management. So what happens is the worst ideas with the best promoters get seen. And the problem with that is you lose credibility, because the worst ideas get surfaced and the best ideas get buried, because the best ideas are usually from the really sort of humble ones who don't brag so much and don't push themselves out into the environment, says the man at the top of the leaderboard. Anyway. So that was a really good lesson. Remember, these are a few years back. This was a different company, and this was something which Dave did learn from quite quickly. And the final sort of little story I want to give you about is solutioneering. Now, some of you may not know what solutioneering is. Let me just give you an example. Well, I'll just give you a description. Solutioneering is the art of creating the solution before you know the problem. And it's something that gamification designers, especially back then when we were doing this, sort of 3 years ago or so, were really, really good at. You'd see solutions for problems that no one even knew existed, but it had a leaderboard, so it was fine. Or there was a reward, or, you got points. You clicked a button, you got a point. You clicked the button twice, you got 2 points. So the solution was brilliant, but no one really knew what the problem was. And this one sees Dave maybe a year after the last one. And he gets a tap on his desk, and one of his colleagues is stood there. Dave, yeah, we've got a problem. Oh, fuck. What's your problem? Well, it's not so much a problem. I want gamification. Brill, you want gamification. Again, I'm your man. 3 years, I've written a book at this point. Dave's written a book at this point. And he's been the top of some leaderboard for ages, and he's spoken at loads of events. And, he is the man at this stage. And then you want gamification. This is fabulous. This is what I've dreamed of. And it's a new system. Yeah, it's a new system. Okay, so what's the solution? Note the word solution here. Well, the solution is we want to create a game. Okay, what's the problem? Well, the problem is that the CVs are being given to the wrong people. Okay? CVs, when we get them, are going to the wrong people. So we're getting people into interviews who are just the wrong people. So what we want to do is we've got this idea for creating a game that helps people screen CVs. Cool. Dave's really excited by this. This is a game, it's CVs, they know the solutions, they know the problem. Brilliant. So we start talking about the solution, and we spend a few hours talking about it, looking at budgets. We've got this whole project plan and how it's going to work, and it's really great. But there's something niggling in the back of Dave's mind at this point, because Dave has been bitten a few times by now and is a bit wary of kind of just jumping straight to the solution. So he says, look, I've got one question for you. How do you know it's the wrong CVs and that it's the people who are screening them that are the problem? Oh, because that's what we reckon. Yeah, but how do you know? What are your facts? I know facts, gamification facts can be a bit awkward. But what do you base this on? Well, not really sure. It's just that people keep coming to interviews who really shouldn't be at the interviews. Okay, so let's rewind. Dave's a bit nervous at this stage. Let's just go back a few steps. How do we get the CVs off our website? Great. And does our website have really clear descriptions of things? Yeah, we talk about what our business units are and what our needs are and what we want from them and all this sort of stuff. Great. Let's go to the website then. So Dave taps into the website and has a look, and he's a bit baffled because he doesn't really understand it. And he works there, and he's been there for years. And he goes, this is quite jargon-filled. So what age group are we looking at? Graduates. So we're saying that a guy coming out of university understands our internal language when he comes to the website. Well, it's quite simple. By whose definition of simple are we working here? Well, ours. So when they go to the website and they see our internal naming structures for our internal business units, they are going to the right one, clicking on it, filling in all the details, and it's then going to the wrong person. Yeah. It isn't possible that they're not understanding what's on the website in the first place and are just clicking anything. Because, to be honest, I don't know if I fit into this box, this box, this box, or this box, and I work here. Oh, that's a good point. So what you're saying is we could just change some of the text on the website. Yeah, it'd be a start. Oh, Dave, you've saved us a fortune. Brilliant. We can solve the problem without having to build a solution for it. Yeah. And I don't have to make a gamified system. Well, no, I don't have to make it. No, you could. No, I don't. So as Dave sat crying in a pool, he was very happy with himself because he had saved the company a fortune and had saved the world and stuff, but couldn't make a game anymore. So again, Dave learned that solutioneering was actually a really big problem, and it's something that Dave had come across and does come across from time to time, because I know Dave quite well. And it's something that really happens a lot in the gamification industry, because everyone has this idea that a game can solve the problem. So they start building a game, and they start looking at things going, oh, points and badges and rewards, and yay, it's very fun! Fun! And then when you actually put it into place, you suddenly understand that the problem had nothing to do with what you actually built. And Dave's come across this a few times, and Dave has also screwed himself over with this one once, turning up to a company who had something like 200 million users on their system and had built a fabulous solution for a problem that didn't exist. And he was in a foreign country at a meeting when he promoted said solution and hadn't understood that their business model wasn't as he thought, converting free users to paid users, but it was keeping more and more free users to click on advertising. So his solution actually lost the money and, funnily enough, didn't get built. So again, he went straight to the solution before really truly understanding the problem. So if you were to take anything away from Dave's experiences, it would be that don't build the solution before you understand the problem. And for crying out loud, do not put rewards where they don't belong. Because not everything needs a reward. Not everything needs, and I'm going to say this as I step further away from people, not everything needs gamification. I know. It's a tragic thought at a gamification conference to say not everything needs gamification. So, some of you may be asking, where is Dave now? Well, he's considered a gamification expert in his own right now. He still plays lots of games, and he teaches, and he does all kinds of exciting things, and he makes a lot less mistakes now. Because the only failure is the failure to learn. Because we all make mistakes, and we all make big mistakes. And the ones of us who survive are the ones who learn to learn from the mistakes. The ones who fall by the wayside, and there are some quite big names out there in the gamification industry who we don't hear about anymore because they didn't learn from their mistakes, and especially because they had solutions that didn't solve problems. They just had solutions that allowed their angel investors to see something pretty. And that's me, thank you. No names on that one.